Seriously, guys? You're gonna let me go on that long?
I was gonna say like Sirius Radio, Jazz 97. Yeah.
Normally, you guys
You're
will
listening
start laughing within 2 seconds, and I can stop.
It was good jam. I'm cleaning the gun. I'm having a good time.
We didn't want to offend you by cutting you off.
Smeggy, you are the soundtrack to my life, bro. I'm telling you right now.
All right.
Awkward silence. Okay.
Welcome to Hit or Miss, everyone. I'm Night Strike, and thank you, Smeggy, for your musical stylings.
Oh, sure, no problem.
Yeah. All right, so my panelists tonight
I hate news websites.
Are as follows. Back from his I don't know, week or month long hiatus, Carlos.
Hey, thank you. It was only a week. And you can blame a 97 Chevy Cavalier. That's all I have to say about that.
Ooh.
Next in our podcast lineup, podcast panel lineup, we've got Smeggy42, the co-host. Hey, Smeggy.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing all right, man. Doing all right.
Good. We're good.
Yeah.
Then we have Too Hottie. What's going on, Too Hottie?
Not much. Hope everybody's doing good.
All right. Everybody is doing fine. And last but certainly not least, we have Travis P11.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Travis P11. A little plug here, guys. You can check out my channel, Travis P11 on YouTube. And I'm also over on Caliber Corner on gunchannels.com.
Every Saturday mornings at, 8 Eastern?
At
8
way
o'clock
too
Central.
early o'clock.
8 a.m.
8
Well,
o'clock Central.
hey, I'm doing a service for those guys that got to get on the road with the kids and they got nothing to listen to and they got to go to the in-laws. They can just put me on and enjoy the ride. I'm telling you.
That's way too early for us over on the West Coast, man.
Dude.
Saturday morning,
Well, yeah,
5 a.m.
It's still
Six
early for
for
me.
you guys. Six. You guys
It's still early for me on the East Coast, but I still do it.
Yep, he's there, man. He's there. And for that, I'll be forever grateful, man. I'm telling you.
I
normally wake up and I'm still half asleep, and I'll listen to it for a couple of minutes to try and get my bearings.
My silky smooth voice will put you to sleep. Yeah.
So this week was your second show.
Most of the time I was dreaming still.
Second one.
How'd it go?
I thought it went really well, man. We had Jay Dalton join us, and Night Strike was there. It was really good. We had was Squib on that one? Squib wasn't on that one. Who else was with us? Jay Dalton. Yeah, no, it was a good show. We had a fun time.
You were talking about cheap ass guns that drink all the time.
Yeah, bunch of pistols. I made fun of my Scott.
1000.
Oh yeah, AWAG was there too. AWAG joined in. Yeah, we had a good discussion.
Yeah, that was good.
It's a lot of fun. And you can check it. It's it's uploaded on YouTube. You guys can always check it out too if you don't want to watch it live. I understand. It's all good.
But if you're watching this is Hit or Miss.
Yes,
remember,
it is.
Watch it every Tuesday night. It's 9 o'clock. All right, our topic for tonight. I have no idea what we're going to talk about, but I'm going to throw a topic out there and we'll see if it sticks on the wall.
I have two things, but we can do your thing first.
Okay. You know what, Smegs? I'm going to give it to you. You throw it on the wall first.
Well, I'm not in good condition to yell and rant yet.
Oh.
Okay. I've got something. All right. Attention to anyone out there in Florida. There is a situation that the Florida CCW database was hacked, and hackers may have obtained the names of 16,000 CCW holders in Florida. So watch out. Watch your, your
property. Lock your guns.
Watch your property. Lock your guns. Even check your bank statements to make sure somebody didn't try and steal your identity, because they can do that even through that information.
Yeah, they were saying that it's possible that Social Security numbers were linked to that as well.
Man.
Yeah. Here's the thing: the database is like 1.7 million licenses, but the issue is they're saying only like 16,000 may have been obtained by the by the hackers. So it may be less, it may be more. We don't know. They can only confirm those 16,000. So be careful.
Do they know who hacked it?
Watch your back out there. They don't know yet who has hacked it, but I'll tell you what. Right now, whoever hacked it isn't gun friendly.
Well, I don't know about that. Honestly, it's probably more they just want the information. It's like if you can hack a wedding registry, does that mean you hate weddings? No, you just want people's address and names and stuff. If you can hack a driver's license registry, then it's not that you're anti-car. You just want their names and their address and their
Remember,
whatever.
man, you got your height,
So,
your weight, your birthplace on there. You got a lot more than just. I mean, I hear you, dude, but it's a lot of data, man.
Squibb has asked if it was Russian hackers. I don't think Russians would want this information. I think it's democratic liberal hackers.
Jesus, no, it isn't. It's someone that wants to do
Data thieves.
open loans,
They want to sell the information.
fraud and stuff. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but here's the thing: when the anti-gunners talk about like, well, what's the big deal about being on a registry? Like, why don't you want that? Because
this is the reason why we don't like registries.
Time and time again, that the computer stuff is vulnerable. I mean, we like to think that the government has their stuff together, but in reality, they don't. So, it's like that's why that's one of the things. If you're faced with an anti-gunner that's screaming at you, going like, "Oh, you're paranoid."
Anti-gunners, man. Like, think about it from just not even anti-gunner, but the big government people, right? Back when they like invented social security numbers, it was like, no, this number won't be used for anything else in your life except your social security benefit. Fast forward like 80 years, and you have to put this fucking number on like everything you do. Like, you have to give it to get a freaking cell phone, to get your CCW, to open a credit card, to a house. Suddenly, this one number is like the key to your fucking life, and the government is like in charge of it.
It was my student number at college.
Yeah,
and they used to post like the
Social
test
security
results with just
right at the top of your test, so they know who to whose test it is. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, they copy all the numbers and they go around bitching and like, okay, who's complaining they got a C+? All right, which one goes to C+? Oh, it must be that guy. No, I don't think. I went to a pretty small school. It probably didn't happen. But yeah, there's a lot of schools use it as the ID number. And like you said, you put it on all sorts of stuff. Job applications, like, and that stuff you just sitting in a folder in an office somewhere or whatever. Like, if that ever gets broken into, like, yeah, it's all over the place. So you got to be careful with that crap.
It's scary, man. Scary stuff.
So I just figured I'd send a shout out to everyone out there who's listening that are in the Florida neck of the woods, so they know to keep on the lookout. And I guess if you subscribe to a service that protects your identity, then they'll let you know if anything suspicious happens. If not, you might want to look at
that. Oh man, Squib wins the comment of the night so far. His student number was 42. That's awesome. I'd be an old fan, but yeah.
Ours was our social security number.
Well, that was probably back in the day when they were only in the double
90s.
digits.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not sure Night Strike's allowed to call people old when I think I'm younger than you, bro.
You are, but only by like a year. Probably not even.
Okay, well, I'm still not older than you.
Yeah. Shut up.
This is almost a Young Guns podcast. We're all the young people of the gun channel. It's just not the ballistics. Like they're a level below us.
Well, Travis, I'm the old a little older, so we let him slide, and we get Nathan in here because
Nathan's old, but no, Travis is in our age group, at least mentally.
Well, within 5 years.
Mentally,
yeah. Well, yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
I remember there was a time there was this guy I worked with. And like we all hired in at the same time, and so they were training all of us. And there was like a thing that he was a little confused on. And then the other guy he was 19. He was like he wasn't there for that. So the one guy asked me, "Hey, can you show me how to do that thing again? Like, do you remember how to do it?" And the other guy was like, "Yeah, I wasn't here for it either. Show me also." So I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I was showing them the stuff, and the guy's like, "Oh man!" Like I explained it a different way than like it, and I think I made it so he understood, because the other guy was just like turn level, whatever it was, like this handle, then this one, then open this and close this, then do this and do like just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just like no, you just memorize the pattern. And I explained it of like, okay, these are the pipes, the fluid's going through there. So like right now it's going this way, but we want it to go this way. So we have to open this so then it starts going that way. And then we close this one so it stops going down here. And then this thing's empty. And then we do the stuff or whatever. And he was like, oh, thanks a lot for explaining that for me. And I said, oh, sure. No problem. Us young guys got to stick together. And I was like low 20s at the time. And he's like, what do you mean us young guys? How old do you think I am? I'm like, I don't know, like 23 or something.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I'm 46. This guy looks so fucking young. I was like, holy crap, dude.
You look good for your age.
Yeah. It's man, he must have moisturized his skin or something.
Some people
unicorns from like.
All right, so Smeggy, you said you had a topic you wanted to throw on.
Yes.
So
yes.
What can you? Are you ready now? You feel well enough to go ahead and?
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to start ranting and raving. I don't want my neighbors to think I'm too crazy, so I was going to wait till I got
go inside
so they can't hear me. So I posted the links in gun channels to 2 different articles, and I don't know. I can't post the links over on YouTube, but
yeah, you are. You're a mod.
Oh, I am a mod. Okay, I was going to say Night Strike could do it.
You and Travis are mods.
Okay, fine. I was going to blame my not working on not being able to.
So is Juebs, by the way, too.
Well, that's good to know. So, all right, give me a second. I'll post the link so you guys can follow along. You can read along with the class.
Yeah, because we can't leave out our YouTube peoples.
Yeah, they're all right, I guess.
Gun Channel's member is the slow reader. And then...
All right, so that one was... that one. So now I got to post this one. Hang on a second, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, we're still going. We're just making sure we got everything in there.
So, for some reason, it only wanted to copy the word control. That's dumb. All right, so I'm going to start with the one from Newsweek. And then I'll get to the other one. So you guys all got the links. You can follow along, or you can just listen to me read it and bitch about it. Actually, this one isn't really bitching. This one was actually pretty cool. So it's reposted from a different thing, but the title is Gun Crime and Gun Control, Firearm Laws Mapped Between States.
Okay.
So, blah, blah, blah. From 2014 to 15, the United States experienced the largest annual increase of firearm deaths, blah, blah, blah. 7.8% upturn in a single year. Okay, well, that kind of is crappy, but I think it's down from 15 to 16 or whatever. And that's how they preference it. So like gun crimes are going up, like, okay, whatever. And then it talks about like all these states that introduced like new laws, and then where's the where the hell is that thing?
Laws.
Yeah, I mean it's all sorts of stuff, and they all call them like gun safety laws. And this is like, for the first time, a long-term trend in enactment of gun safety laws can be compared between states. We found striking disparities between states in both number of firearm laws and rate of adoption of these laws over time. So the database includes 133 different measures intended to reduce gun violence, noting the presence or absence of each of them in all 50 states from 1991 to present. So what's really cool is that you can go through and you can either pick like a state and then just watch it. Like if you go, especially there's a link in there somewhere, if you go to this article, where you can actually get like their raw data and you can filter it. So you can go to just a particular state and start in 1991 and it will tell you there's like 8 firearm safety laws or something. And then you go up a little bit and it goes up to 13. Then you go up and it goes down to 9. And you can dig in deeper and see which ones they actually are. Or you can look at just like stand your ground and see, okay, in this one, there was only 5 states that had stand your ground. And then now by this time, there's like a bunch more and blah, blah, blah. And the thing that I found interesting about it, now it's definitely the group that put it together and stuff is framing it. I won't say they're anti-gun per se, but they're framing it as like the more gun laws, like the safer the state should be. Like it's a good thing if you have more gun laws is how they kind of phrased it. But they do have data in there for each year talking about what the firearm homicide rate was and the firearm accidental rate, like, you know, the per 100,000. So you can go through and see, you know, it'd take a little bit of work, but you could go through and see if the numbers go up and down in relationship to the number of laws going up and down, or if it's just kind of random or whatever. Because, I mean, we do know, if we look at the last 20 years, gun homicides and accidents have steadily been going down across the country. Like, in my opinion, regardless of gun laws. I mean, I think it's an overall trend that it's going down. And then maybe it goes down faster in a state that gets like stand your ground, which would be contrary to what these people are trying to say. But like, you can look at that kind of stuff. And it's really interesting. If you're a nerd, it's really interesting. So, I mean, the article itself, they do call out a couple different things. This one was one of the dumb ones. States are also increasingly enacting laws to protect the gun industry from potential liability. These laws prevent citizens who are injured by firearms from suing gun manufacturers for damages resulting from the misuse of their product. They also stop local governments from filing lawsuits against gun manufacturers. Let me get past this little map here. No other consumer product manufacturer enjoys such broad immunity. A similar law at the federal level resulted in dismissal of a lawsuit against the gun manufacturer, blah, 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 about, you know, the crappy thing. While only 7 states had such laws in 1991, 33 states now have a gun industry immunity law. In my opinion, that's a good thing, but they're trying to say, like, oh, man, like, guns are special or whatever. But the key phrase of that is misuse.
So, Smeggy, are they saying that they just said that no other industry has those protections?
That's what they're saying, yeah.
Well, that's bullshit. If somebody runs me over with their car, I don't get to fucking sue the manufacturer of that automobile.
Well, that's true, but there's not a specific law that says you're not allowed to sue Ford. Only because it just wouldn't go through anyways. So it's like, it's one of those things. The only reason that exists is because the anti-gun type people were trying that stuff. You know, they were trying to sue gun manufacturers to put them out of business based on someone misusing a product. No one's ever tried to do that to Ford. So there's no law that specifically says you can't sue Ford. It's just pretty well known in, you know, case law and precedent that if you try and sue Ford for getting run over, you're not going to win. Now, if Ford's engine blows up when it's not supposed to, you can still sue them for that. Like, just like if a gun, you know, there's whatever that one was where, like, it fired when the safety was on or something. Like, that's a defect and they got sued for it. Like, that's what happens. They're not immune from doing something like negligent.
Still liability for negligence, yeah.
Right. They're just saying if someone buys the gun and uses it bad, well, that's not their fault. And then this one, I think this is just plain wrong, but it's, I don't know, whatever. This is probably just ignorance or something. But in 1998, the FBI implemented a federal background check system for gun purchasers from licensed dealers. Since then, only 8 states have closed a loophole in the law by requiring universal background checks for all firearm purchases in their state, even those for unlicensed sellers. This gun show loophole allows any adult to purchase a gun without being subjected to a background check merely by purchasing from a private seller rather than a licensed dealer. I could be wrong, but I didn't think that the background check was put in 98. I thought it was around since before then, but I don't know. I guess I could be wrong on that. But so it's like crap like that. And today, you know, adults in 37 states can legally purchase firearms from private sellers without being required to undergo background check. And then they talk about domestic violence, where more and more states are, you know, making it so if you're convicted of domestic violence, then you can't buy a gun and all this stuff. Saying around whatever. The article itself is like, kind of interesting, but what's cool is, like I said, you can find it in there. it's like linked to our data or something, or it's I forget exactly what it says, but it's in there somewhere. You can get to their website, and it's definitely there. I would love to unpack that more, and it's really cool. I'm just very interested in, you know, how gun laws have evolved on the national level and on the state level over the course of years. So the fact that they did all that work, and you can download actually their, you know, Excel spreadsheet of the actual raw data, and then you can sort it and filter out all sorts of stuff. You don't even have to use their website.
Yeah, I think
I'm trying to find the website now so I can freaking.
It's really good to be able to go through and look at those things, because also you have to look, and everybody has a bias and an agenda, especially people who have an agenda.
Right.
Because I remember I did a report. This was like way back in high school. But I did a report back when the Brady group, Brady campaign. Not the Brady bill, but the actual violence prevention policy, but bullshit center. They put out, these stats, just like the way the NRA, ILA, or whoever puts out stats every year.
Squib is saying on the YouTube, on the Gun Channel side, no more spreadsheets.
Well, you know what? This has to do with our gun rights, so.
It's the sort of thing where you have to know what's out there to be able to counter this bullshit. Because this is the sort of thing like you're at the cubes at work and you're talking about something. Someone's like, well, I saw this article the other day that said the guns are blah, 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 blah. And you're like, and you sit there and like your head wants to explode because like 8 things they said are just like factually wrong.
Remember, guys, we're on the front lines. We are in the fucking crosshairs. So we have to take the offensive, otherwise we're gonna get shot down.
Yeah. So, but anyway, like the point is, like when you can go back and you can look at their data, sometimes you see ways they purposely manipulate their data to reach certain conclusions. Like one that I noticed back then was the proper way that the FBI and people report like homicides. Right? It's homicides per 100,000, because a city with 1,000 people will have less homicides than a city with 1 million people. But then they go and they do things like they just report the raw number of homicides, and then they say, well, this city has this many, and this city has this many, and so clearly this city is more dangerous.
Or they start including other things too.
Yeah, and so they manipulate data like that, and you're like, that's not right. And then the other thing is with all of these studies, like, oh, well, they did a trend and blah, blah, blah. From someone who sat in like a 2-hour meeting with a bunch of statisticians at work today, none of these things are what we would call statistically significant. Like, and by that, people mean, by chance, could you get the same data to come out of that if you just basically had like a random number generator and you just generated 50 random data points, right? We only have 50 states. What are the odds that you could get something to trend up or trend down? Is that statistically relevant? Is it for sure something that's not a random event just happening, random noise in whatever you're looking at? So whenever they say these things, it's like, well, there was like a slight increase of like this little sliver of an amount in like 2 states. And it's like, I can tell you, because I've done this sort of math before, that could just be random chance. Like and so they say these things like they're gospel, and then they get published on the news, and then suddenly like your coworkers are quoting this shit too. So,
that's a good point. Yeah, you hear about the next day at work. Yeah.
So just remember that you have to kind of be on, like, if you hear these things, take a look at it. I mean, to whoever's point on the Gun Channel side, like, take a look at it so you know when someone tries to like ask you about it, like, no, that was full of shit for like 9 different reasons, and you can at least intelligently talk about it and know that like all of these things are full of garbage. There's no way to do these things right. These studies are all trash, every single one of them. So it is what it is.
It is.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Well, that's where I'm giving credit to this study at least a little bit, although the article talking about it's definitely spun. Everyone's saying, yeah, it's anti-gun, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it probably is a bit, but the study itself is just focusing on like gun laws and how many states have how many certain gun laws, and if the number's going up or going down, which some states have been doing nothing but passing more gun laws, and some states have been doing nothing but repealing gun laws over a while. So that's the part where I think is interesting. And Squib says he's a nerd, but he doesn't think it's interesting. Well, then fuck off, because it's interesting, and you're wrong.
No, don't say that to him.
Oh, come on, it's Squib. He knows how I feel.
All right.
You know, I love him. It's okay. But
just remember,
anyways, then whatever.
If you tell him to fuck off, you might piss him off, and he might come down there just to, tell you what's what.
Bring it on, Home Slice. I'm right here. He knows about what city I live in.
You ever seen a snowman throw down? That's right.
Smeggy will meet you in Flint. Just don't drink the water.
I'll just throw the water at you. Yeah, see, in Flint, a squirt
then you'll
gun
be
is a
slinging lead.
high-capacity, fully automatic weapon. A super soaker? That's an assault weapon.
Yeah, you'll be
'Cause the
slinging
water's so
lots of lead.
All right, so now let's get to this other one from
right.
edweek.org. What the fuck is that kind of website? Whatever. So go back up and you guys can all read along and stuff. This one will probably be more ranting. California lawmakers aim to strengthen gun ban in schools. California lawmakers have passed a bill to revoke superintendent's ability to let people carry guns in a school zone. California Assembly passed some other shit on Monday, sending the measure to the state Senate. So it's not done deal yet, but it's something that's going on. Blah blah blah.
Just give him.
Well, in our school district where I'm at, on any of the school property, you're not allowed to carry a firearm, concealed or unconcealed, unless you're law enforcement. And that's state law.
Well,
so I don't know what they don't have or what they're going to try to expand it to, because you can't in Nebraska, you take your firearm, concealed or unconcealed, to a sporting event, a school activity that's on school property.
You can't even keep them in your car.
No, you can. You can keep them parked. They have to be either locked in the glove box or in a lock box that's somehow attached to your vehicle inside. It's like on my Jeep, I've got a lock box and I have the cable that hooks up to a portion of the frame where I can actually run the cable through it, so it's physically mounted to the vehicle. Not that you couldn't snip the wire, but it just has to be not hard mounted, but just mounted in a way where it can't be taken off. So yeah, you can store your firearms loaded on school property, but you just have to have them stored properly. But I mean, I don't understand what California is trying to. Well, what's different than what they can't do right now?
Okay, one, it's California, and two,
I figured it'd already be
California.
Well, you think it would have already been banned by now, just because of the way they are,
Well, I mean,
California is like
gun-free zones, but what it's saying, the legislation initially let superintendents give people permission to carry guns on campus to ensure domestic. You have to get permission from the superintendent. They're trying to take that part away. So to ensure domestic violence survivors could protect themselves, and blah blah blah. Some douchebag fucking McFuck said is a Sacramento Democrat. Provision has been exploited by school districts to allow cafeteria aides, teachers, and yard duty assistants to carry firearms in schools.
So
this was not the intent of the bill passed a few years ago. Who authored the thing? Research shows allowing more guns in schools make them less safe. Go fuck yourself. You are retarded. Retarded.
Right, and that's to say that California schools are safe anyway. It's just look at what happened over in San Bernardino the other day. They didn't go on and on about that because one, he was using a revolver, and two, it didn't fit their anti-gun narrative.
That's a good point.
I just want to add, somebody had asked that fucking McFuck, so did any of those cafeteria workers go on a shooting spree in the school? What
exactly. That's the thing, right? So they're saying they're basically, so they want to take away that ability so then no one would have a thing. And Smarty McSmartpants over here says, where the heck was it? Oh,
you want to talk data? I mean, what percentage of legal gun owners actually commit felonies with their firearms? What percentage? 1, maybe less than 1%.
Right.
And so who cares where they're carrying and how, as long as they can legally carry a firearm, then great,
So
they're statistically not likely to commit a crime.
I get the feeling that in California that if there's a guy who gets elected to, the state senate or whatever, that they're probably sitting there in their office and they're like, fuck, I don't have any ideas for any good bills. Fuck, what do I do? I got it. More gun control bills. That's what I'll do. I have no other ideas for bills for this state this year, so I'm going to pass a gun control bill. I'm pretty sure that's how politics in California works at this point.
I do not disagree with you, man.
So Smarty McSmart, who voted against the measure, says, well, I guess it's kind of cut out, but it's making a problem where there isn't one. Those who have been deemed responsible enough to have a CCW ought to be able to have one on school grounds if their school district allows it. said smart assembly woman Melissa Melendez, something like that, whatever. Yeah, actually represents a district near LA. That's interesting. It is not our responsibility to make that decision for them. So they're saying leave it up to the superintendents, which, okay, that's a step in the right direction. But it says the vote on the bill comes 2 months after a teacher and an 8-year-old student were shot by the teacher's estranged husband at an elementary school in San Bernardino. Okay. But do you think the estranged husband had permission to bring the gun onto the school? No. If anything, the fucking teacher, if it's an estranged husband and maybe there was like some fighting going on, because obviously he was crazy enough and mad enough to go in and shoot her when she was at work, was that fucking maybe she should have been allowed to carry because, that was somewhere up here. They worried that it would make schools a place where abusers would know domestic violence survivors would not have guns to defend themselves. So yeah, it's like that. If you beat up on your wife and something and she's a teacher and then you want to get back at her, you just go meet her up at school if this passes because you know she's not going to have a gun.
Right.
And that's probably what this dude did because it's fucking stupid. It pisses me off.
He was a felon anyway.
Like
he wasn't even supposed to have a gun in the first place. He didn't. I think he either acquired it legally or bought it illegally. So I mean, banning the laws that push the good gun owners out, it doesn't even. That's not even related to that. I can't even make a connection between the two.
Yeah.
You know?
So punishing civilians for doing the right thing isn't gonna do a damn thing to stop the criminals from doing the wrong thing because. No. They're criminals already. They're going to continue doing the wrong thing.
I don't even think that's the problem, Night Strike.
They are always given the choice of whether to do the right thing or the wrong thing, and they always fucking do the wrong thing. Yet you think taking away people's rights is going to fix that. It's not.
I don't even think that's true, Night Strike. I don't even think that's what they think. I honestly think, and I've talked with, people at school or work or wherever over the years, and I think a lot of people who are really anti-gun, right? And there's people out there who just don't know anything about the issue and they're just kind of whatever about it. But people who are really anti-gun, I think they think it's wrong. I mean, they think it's wrong to defend yourself. They think that there is like, no, I would never kill anybody for any reason. Like, and to them, the idea of actually like having to use lethal force to defend yourself is not justifiable. Like for them, that there's no moral high ground for like defending yourself. And so why would they let you defend yourself if to them you're a murderer if you defend yourself? I mean, that's literally how a lot of these people think. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we have to overcome as a gun group is like, no, like defending yourself is not bad. You're not a bad person if you save your own fucking life.
And this is bad to say, and I know I'm going to get shit for this, but from everyone, but I'm going to say it anyways because I am a strong supporter of speaking your mind. So here I'm going to speak my mind, better or worse. Okay, I honestly not really hope, but I kind of wish that these anti-gun people would get carjacked at gunpoint, or they would get get home invaded and robbed at gunpoint, so they understand why we want to be protected.
Their brain doesn't work that way, though. If that happened to them, because a lot of people that are anti-gun are like, oh, my nephew got shot in a drive-by or blah, 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 whatever. So, like, that kind of stuff happens, and their thing is, if only that carjacker didn't have a gun. That's how their fucking brain works. It just doesn't work good. And so they're like, that would not help at all.
You know what? And speaking as a teacher myself, let them sit through a intruder in the building drill and sit there and see how vulnerable you feel and see how that feeling is when you're sitting there doing that drill with your kids and the administrators walk through to check up on you to make sure you're doing it properly and that door opens and the lights are out. That is a very, you feel like a little animal in a cage at that point. So all I can say is as a teacher is it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to help any of us that are actually in the classrooms. So. Yeah, not cool.
I have to mention this, and I know people say, well, we're not supposed to talk about this, but I'm going to say it anyways. I agree with James H. on the YouTube side. Fuck Nintendo for the whole NES Classic fiasco. I agree. Moving on.
Why? What happened to that?
Oh, they cut off production of it, and
they overhyped it, one, and then they only sold a certain amount of them, and then people ordered them and kept on ordering them. And they decided, you know what, this is only a limited edition thing, so we're cutting it off and cutting production. And anybody who's ordered them anyways at this point, yeah, well, fuck you guys.
And then you're at the mercy of market prices, which is anything from $100 to $80,000 on eBay. Literally.
So they only made a few, and then they decided not to make any more. So I didn't know that. I remember seeing when it came out, and was like, oh, it looks kind of neat.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just buy a Nintendo because I used to have one. So.
Here's the thing: I have 2 Nintendos. If I wanted to play a Nintendo game that I don't have a cartridge for, I'd either go out and buy the cartridge, or I'd do something really, really shady, and I'll tell you about that off air about that. But
anyway,
around it. Anyways, let's get back to the guns. So
how about that duck hunt gun on the Nintendo? You know, you have to have a glass front screen for that. That's one of them things that people don't realize. They get all these fancy TVs.
Gotta have them CRTs, baby.
Actually, I've been able to modify one of the NES zappers to work on LCDs, but the problem is my aim is still shit.
Now, did you use the original NES and Nintendo brand one, or did you get an aftermarket one? Because there was a couple companies that sold.
I bought some aftermarket parts, which you're supposed to open it up and you solder onto the existing boards and the diode wire, and it allows you to go and use the gun with LCDs. It still doesn't work great, but the issue is the gun was never supposed to be a great thing in the first place.
No, we used to sit with the gun like 2 inches away from the screen. We would cheat so bad.
Yeah, because then it just worked.
Skeet shoot one was so dang hard. The one that would throw the discs out, the clay pigeon shooting. You remember that one? I think it was on the same game.
Put it up against the screen. You didn't even have to be in front of the duck. Like you just click in the corner, but because it was so close to the screen, it would register. And you'd be good to go. But anyway, so yeah, that's a gun that's neat.
So all right, so we're getting back to guns. I did want to mention what Oklahoma did today.
What Oklahoma do today? Have a tornado?
No. That's Travis's area.
No, Oklahoma's way worse than us. They get triple what we get.
I'll put that in the chat. I'll put this in the gun channel side. So we're moving on.
What happened in Oklahoma? Tell me.
Let me finish. Damn it.
Tell me now.
Let me give the links out.
I'm clicking on the link.
The links are everywhere.
What does it say?
So anyways, the Oklahoma governor signed 2 pro-gun bills into law today.
Hooray.
And
what were they?
Republican Governor Mary Fallin recently signed legislation to allow some in the military to carry a handgun without a license and grant the carry of firearms on public buses.
I like the public bus thing. That's cool.
The carry expansion for service members, SB 35, proved very popular with lawmakers, passing the Oklahoma Senate earlier this month, 46 to 2. Wow. You vote against people that protect you and fight for you? Yeah. Good job, guys.
Yeah, there's something going on in Nevada right now where they're trying to do that, where people that are part of the armed forces that are like between 18 and 21 can get a concealed carry permit.
Yeah.
Because normally, you got to be 21 to get one.
The House is worse, 85 to 13 in April. Why would you not allow servicemen to carry? It's literally their job to carry and use those firearms.
Well, they want them to carry, just not on our soil. So, that's, yeah.
I don't understand that. Anyways, our military men and women are highly trained in combat and how to use weapons, said the bill's sponsor, Senator Kim David, Republican Porter. Requiring them to get a license to carry a handgun is redundant and an expense on our
I'd call it donkulous.
And an expense our Oklahoma heroes shouldn't have to worry about. And they're right. They are right. The language of the bill would change the state law by allowing active reserve and National Guard members in the state who are age 21 and older to use their valid military ID in place of a handgun permit. Those carrying would also need to have a valid state ID. The legislation goes into effect November 1st and complements a House bill signed by Fallin last month that will allow people as young as 18 who have served in the military to obtain a handgun license. So there's that. And now we get to the carry-on buses part. Fallon also signed SB 397 over the weekend, which will lift prohibitions on the carry of handguns on public buses. The measure passed the Senate 3092 earlier this month and the House 79-9 in April. The bill ends what gun right groups described as a discriminatory and unreasonable prohibition on the carry of firearms on public transportation in Oklahoma and allows those with valid carry permits to bring a firearm on public buses. Under state law, those found with a concealed lethal weapon on a public bus were not law enforcement who were not law enforcement were liable to as much as a 10-year prison sentence and a $10,000 fine.
Holy shit. A person with a valid license sitting on a bus could go to jail for 10 years? That is fucking retarded.
The repeal of that bill goes into effect November 1st. So
holy crap, that is so stupid. I mean, it's good that they're getting rid of it.
They fixed it. So
I know, but what were they thinking ahead of time? These people jumped through all the hoops to get a freaking permit to begin with, and most people, and this is maybe generalizing or whatever, most people that use public transportation, maybe they're a little lower income or whatever. So the fact that they went and got the permit, that was already a pretty big expense compared to like their normal income or whatever. And yeah, I'm generalizing, but let's face it, most people who have money have cars. I mean, unless you're living in the big city, you just don't feel like having a car. I mean, it can happen. It just doesn't happen that much around here. So anyways, but those people are probably the ones that are most at risk of being attacked or having, something happen. And the fact they took the time to do everything they need to do to get a concealed carry permit and get training, and I don't know what Oklahoma's things are as far as if you have to take a test or whatever the thing is.
Class, your registration fee, your license.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably something, but at the very least, there's money to file, which, some people, it's like, okay, you pay the money just to get the gun, and then you have a little bit of money for ammo, and then you have a little bit of money left over to get the permit, and now you can't sit on a bus or else you go to jail for 10 years? That's insane. Insane. Come on. Quit being dumb. And I bet you when this happens, you think bus shootings are going to go up? No, they're not. You know what I mean? So, well, it could be a thing, but I'm sure the liberals will tell you, oh my God, there's going to be blood in the buses because people will miss their stop and they'll just shoot the driver for not slowing down or, some stupid shit that they always say.
The floors of buses will be red with blood, in our fair cities.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, they're all fucking stupid.
But think about the children, Smeggy. It's all about the children.
Oh my God, what if the children are on buses going to school?
If just one life is saved, it's worth it.
I wonder if a bus driver could carry a gun if they were a school bus driver.
They said public transportation, so public.
No, I know.
Regular city buses.
It's separate from what you're talking about. I'm talking just in general now. Not even talking just about that state. But do you think a school bus driver, does that count as school property or whatever as soon as they step on the bus, or because they drive into the parking lot or whatever? Or do you think they could carry?
No, because the bus is the school's property. Like if I take a school vehicle for a road trip or a field trip or whatever, training, I'm not allowed to have alcohol in the vehicle or firearms. Now that's just our district's policy. I mean, the districts can set their own rules. They can allow faculty and employees to carry if they want.
Yeah, but some states they can't. The state says, hey, schools are a no-go.
Yeah, no, they don't let you do that in our state.
But I just think that's interesting. I don't,
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
So, does anybody else have anything to talk about? Because I'm out of topics now. You know what, Travis? Are you still cleaning that gun?
No, I'm done. I'm just kind of picking everything up right now.
What gun you cleaning?
Why don't you go ahead and turn the camera on and show us the gun you're
Oh, dude, I already packed it away, man.
Oh, come on, man.
It's completely...
Well, then just tell us. What is it? I want to know.
All right, well, let me assemble it in front of you guys and at least make this exciting, okay? All right. So we got the Feather USA, Feather Industries carbine, which they quit making back in 2008. When they manufactured it, they made it 9, 40, 10 millimeter, 357 SIG, and 45 ACP.
Oh, come on.
I'm getting it out. It looks like a Star Wars blaster before you put the barrel in it. It's cool. It's just when I took it to the range, it had some serious issues with feeding the second round. So this is before you put the barrel in it. Looks just like a Star Wars blaster, basically. All right, let me get the wire stock.
I gotta say, it's still better than that Sky.
It's a cool. Oh God, take this over. Well, at least this one. No, this thing has the same issue that this guy has. So, all right, put the wire. Mac did a video on this one. Military Arms Channel did a video on this one with the 9 millimeter, and the 45 is pretty rare. So, I was excited to take it out. I was just mad because it was having the problems that it had. So it's obviously something with the mags not working. So here, wire stock's a little bit. You have to get a lot. Now, what was crazy? It actually has an A2 stock with a buffer tube that you can put on the back instead. The problem with this is that, okay, when you're using this thing, in order to use these iron sights, you have to be pretty much, let me block the light here. You have to be pretty much, behind the receiver to see down these iron sights. So when you put the A2 stock on, I was excited. I was going to remember I was going to go all tactical with it and stuff. When you put this on.
The nut covers the front of the sight, doesn't it?
No. It props when you have this on, it raises your aim an inch and you look right over the iron sights. You cannot look down the iron sights when you've got the A2 stock installed because these are just like right on top of the receiver, just barely above the Picatinny rail. And
but no, if you put like a red dot up on that rail and then use
and I didn't because I just wanted to try it with the iron sights. Oh yeah, I mean this sucker was accurate. It was not bad. I mean it actually shot really cool. It's got a barrel shroud to put over. It kind of looks like a suppressor. And what it was is they started making these in 1995, I think, and then in 08 they modified them to accept Glock mags. Originally, they took Uzi mags. Let me take the. It's kind of crazy though. It uses the same little barrel nut on the. It uses the same nut on the front that it uses on the rear receiver. Very simple design. I mean, it's just a straight up blowback design.
Now, what model is this?
This is the 40. It's called the RAV 45 ACP by Feather USA, Feather Industries.
Okay.
The barrel is like looks like a freaking billy club. I mean, this thing is massive. It's probably 14 inches or so, I'm guessing. Put that in.
What do you do? Need a forehead weld in order to use them sights?
With a Wait, it has a 14-inch barrel. How is that not an SBR?
You would have to have. I don't know if it's a 14. I'd have to measure it. I guess I'm not really sure, to be honest with you.
You'd think it'd be a 16, eh?
Well, I mean, when it's assembled, if it's a minimum length, wouldn't it just be considered a rifle when you have the wire stock on it?
Well, yeah, but it's got to have a 16-inch barrel.
Well, it might. I haven't measured it. So, all right. So I got it assembled now. So this is just with the regular barrel on the front. This is probably a foot right here. So I'm guessing it's at least a 16. And then it goes. There you go. It's got the little angled Picatinny's on it and stuff. And then you got your wire stock on the back, which is adjustable. And then it came with two 27-round mags. These are 45 ACP. And I got 4 Glock mags, but it had some problems tonight. When we were running it, it was
Now, what T-shirt is that?
It's the SS Pawn one. It's what I wear in all my range videos.
Okay, yeah,
because from the pawn shop owner. Yeah, Stan loaned it to me.
James H said, "Travis, you shill. Is that an SS Pawn T-shirt?"
Yeah, he's a sponsor of my channel. So, dude, he loans me guns to take out to the range. I'll wear a shirt. I'm fine with that. I don't have to pay anything for this. I can take them out and shoot them as much as I want. I have no time limit on them. I got a Ruger Precision 308 that's in the safe that I'm going to be taking out. I should have taken that instead because that would probably work a lot better. So disassembly, take out the front little barrel nut.
Baby, that's where it's at.
Should be fun to shoot. So pull the barrel out. Yeah, that's at least 16. It has to be at least 16 inches. So it's not an SBR.
Right.
Yeah. Then you got the body right here. And then to take the wire stock out, you have a little button on the rear here that you push. I'm sorry, my light's in the way. There you go.
Yeah.
You just push that and it comes right out. Yeah, I just got back from the range actually when I was talking to you guys when I first jumped back in. So then that's it. You're down to the components. And then to take the receiver or to take the bolt carrier group out, all you have to do is just unscrew the rear. Cap comes off and a plug comes out, and then the bolt carrier group just comes out and you take out the charging handle. So yeah, if you find them, they're like, I don't even know. I've seen some that run around $700 for the 9mm. I mean, if you want a pistol caliber carbine, go with an AR, platform or whatever. You're gonna have much better luck because, like I said, this one's having some extractor issues or feeding issues. It's probably the mags or something with the mag clearance, like you said, Night Strike. You're probably. I'm guessing you're right about that.
Yeah.
Because I tried 6 mags and they all did the exact same thing. The first magazine I put through it, I had 5 shots. I just did 5 rounds in the magazine, no problem. Loaded the second mag. After that, I started having problems. And I field stripped it at the range. And I'm like, okay, so what's going on? Is something out of whack? No, I reassembled it exactly how it's supposed to be. It only goes together in a certain way. I mean, you can't mess up reassembly on it. Otherwise, it won't even function. So, yeah. Cool gun. Neat concept, but just kind of finicky. So.
That is certainly a nice gun. I will tell you that. Though, granted, if it's not working properly, it is probably there is an issue somewhere there.
And maybe I'm just not seeing something, but it's very straightforward. You put the mag in, you pull
maybe
back
you're
on the
not
charging.
assembling it right.
No. I watched the Mac video on it. I looked up the manual on it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward how you do it. You can only do it a certain way.
I wonder if it's like picky on ammo or something,
I tried 2 different brands, but I mean, I was doing PMC bronze and Winchester white box, and that was it. I mean, it was cycled the first round.
You really went with the high quality stuff. So it's not.
I spent $45 on ammo.
With white box, it must be.
No, it's not quality at all. I'm just saying that it should cycle through a blowback action gun with no problems. So it's But no, I mean, it's fine. I was using brass at least. It would fire the first round, and then it would take the round below it. It would wedge it into the feeding ramp and cause a jam, or it would actually chamber, but not blow back far enough to actually reset the striker, and you'd have a dead trigger. And then when you pull the round out, the round was actually mashed in the shell about 1/4 of an inch or about 1/8 of an inch.
Okay.
Taking the shell, I was putting the unfired bullets back into the box, into the little foam box, and they were sitting like 1/4 inch lower than the rest of the shells. I'm like, well, that's odd. And then I pulled it out and looked, and I was like,
smashing bullets into something.
Right into the feed ramp. Yeah.
All right, we got a question on the YouTube side. Homer the Brave asking, what is everyone's favorite AR-10 style rifle?
Ooh.
An AR-10.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I'm pretty sure he means brands.
I heard good things about the Midwest Industries.
Yeah, those are pretty solid.
I'm poor. I can't afford to shoot 308. I don't know about you suckers.
You can get it for $10 a box. Yeah.
I'm just barely getting by with buying what I can here in town. But I'm going to say
get a PSA.
Palmetto State Armory, get a PA-10. It's awesome. I don't own one. A friend of mine owns one, but he's brought it over several times. It's a good gun.
I'm Night Strike. I live in Palmetto.
But just remember, with the Palmetto State Armory PA-10, the parts in that are not interchangeable with other AR-10 style rifles because
why not?
They are some of the PA-10 parts are proprietary because there's not a mil spec thing with that because it's because the military didn't take the AR-10, they took the 15/M16 instead.
I would have to go for the Savage MSR-10, either the Hunter or the long range. I think those are pretty sweet. $1,500, $2,284
I don't buy my
for the long
ammo
range.
from PSA Squib because I have to go. I get it in town. I get all my ammo in town because there's legitimately there's not a big enough difference in price to go an extra 40 miles just to go to PSA for ammo. Waste all that money on gas just to get, the same price of ammo? No.
Oh, really? You got a place local that's cheap? Because, I mean, when I find stuff in the stores, and I'm talking, let's say, like 9 mil, but it's probably equivalent to all the other ones. You find in the stores for like $12 or $13 a box, yet online you can get them for like $9 a box.
Well, let me put it this way.
Does anybody ever find like consistent?
What people don't realize that saying PSA is great and all that, or Night Strike's talking about PSA. Let me clue you kids in on how it is in the real world. Okay, the stuff that is on PSA's website is for all the stuff that's in the warehouse in Columbia. I live outside of Charleston. So stores in the Charleston area have a different price than they do in the warehouse. The retail stores don't have the same price as online.
So you can't like walk in and get a Smith & Wesson Shield for free?
No, I can't. I have to go online to do that if they're doing that.
So then why don't you just buy the stuff online and have it ship it to you? Wouldn't it still be cheaper than getting it from the retail store?
Not really. I did price out the upper I got the other day.
Well, you just said the retail store is a different price than the online store. Now you're saying it's not really a difference? I'm so confused. With
gun parts,
PSA tomorrow, they're going to charge you $9 a box. They're going to charge you $12 a box.
I don't have a T-shirt on right now, James H.
I'm not sure.
No, I've got a T-shirt on. But honestly, it's different because some of their gun parts are priced like they are online, and some of them aren't. Like, say the premium PSA parts aren't priced like they are online. The bottom of the barrel stuff, like the PTAC, are only online. So your Freedom stuff, it's around the same price, but with the ammunition is not the online price; it's the in-store price.
And a lot of stores like that, they have something that's cheap to get you in the door, and then they make their money on you somewhere else, right?
Right. So they've got a range at the PSA I go to. They literally sell all forms of sporting goods too. Because I walked in there the other day and there's a whole line for sporting goods. They have a whole line for hunting bows and arrows. They're starting to get into that too. A whole bunch of fishing.
I was gonna say fishing stuff too.
Fishing out the ass. I'm gonna do another video soon, and I'm gonna throw that up there. And this time I'll do a proper one. But they've got everything. They've got it all set up now. It's ridiculous.
Well, you know what though? You got Gander Mountain that's just gone out of business. You got Cabela's that got bought out by Bass Pro Shops, and there's a chance that some of the Cabela's could be closed. So I mean, there's people are going to go elsewhere.
There isn't a Cabela's in Charleston.
Yeah, you told me it's on the other side of your state. So yeah.
Yeah, it's all the way. I think it's all the way either in Rock Hill or Greenville, and that's on the other side of the state for me. So
yeah.
So when it comes to ammunition, I normally just buy either online or I buy if I can only afford like a box or two, then I just go to the local store and just get a box or two because it's cheaper.
That just seems odd to me. You must be the luckiest boy in the world.
I'm not.
That you can go to the store and buy a couple boxes at a time, and it's cheaper than buying stuff online and like waiting for a weekend that has free shipping or something.
It's not cheaper, but it's more convenient.
The only place that even comes close.
You're just talking in fucking circles. You just said a second ago it's cheaper for you to do that, and then you said it's better to get it from the store than go to the thing, and then you're like, oh, but they're not the same prices online. So then I'm like, why don't you just buy online? And you're like, well, because it's like the same thing. I'm so fucking confused how much money you spend on stuff that I'm just not paying attention anymore.
Wait a second. I had this.
Buy your shit in bulk online, free shipping, and call it a day.
No, I'm not paying $300 for.
Yeah, I was gonna say free shipping is usually at least a $99 purchase to get on ammo.
Yeah, but you're getting 1,000 rounds or something. So you're gonna buy 50 rounds at a time?
That's how I buy it, but I'm just saying free shipping. Yeah. No, that's what I do. I just buy 1,000-round boxes.
I think Night Strike actually just gets all his ammo for free from PSA, but he's signed a non-disclosure agreement. That's why he's talking. That's why he's talking in circles.
I wish. I mean,
big PSA money.
Yep.
If I could get a sponsor like Big Gunner 81 could, I'd be set.
I tried to get a Mountain Dew sponsor for Hit or Miss.
That'd be awesome.
I did too, but they won't send me any code red.
Oh man!
Well, speaking of Big Gunner, he was at the race the other day, and he's like, "Look at the race!" Like it was a video or something.
Yeah.
And Mountain Dew liked his photo and was like, "This is a cool video" or something, right? And so when I saw that, I was like, hey, Big Gunner. You know, I added at both of them. I'm like, do you think your buddies, like your best friends over at Mountain Dew would sponsor me for Hit or Miss Tuesday nights 9 o'clock? And he responded back, he's like, hey, maybe they'll sponsor Big Gunner Tuesday nights 10 o'clock. They can just sponsor the whole Tuesday night lineup.
I mean, they sent us a couple 2-liter bottles, man.
Yeah, Mountain Dew Instagram never responded, so I guess we didn't sign a contract.
Oh.
So you know what? I went and bought a Faygo Moon Mist.
Ooh, yum.
Fuck Mountain Dew. No, I'm just kidding, but I do like Moon Mist also.
You can get Mountain Lightning, which is the Sam's Club equivalent.
No, that's no. I've had that.
Dude, that's like someone saying like, "Oh man, you want some Mellow Yellow?" It's the same. No, it's not.
Whoa. Mellow Yellow is good. Mellow Yellow is good, but Mountain Lightning, no.
Whatever they call it, I don't even know.
Dude, Mountain Lightning is like getting the generic like Fruit Loops. You're just like, this tastes like cardboard. What the hell?
Oh yeah.
So I'm not finding it a lot.
5-pound bag of Malto Meal, you know? Yeah.
I do like Sundrop. I don't know if Smeggy likes Sundrop.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. All right. So if anybody's got any questions or comments, suggestions for the show, ideas, topics you'd like us to follow up with, go ahead and send us an email to nightstrike1@gmail.com. That's NIGHTSTRYKE, the number 1 at gmail.com.
Number 1.
Yes, I just said that. Thank you, Smeggy.
I'm just noting the weirdness. And James, you're saying you bet Mountain Dew's anti-gun. I've never seen anything from that, so I choose not to believe that.
They're owned by Tricon. Yes, they are. Or it's not Tricon anymore. It's called Yum. Whatever.
They're owned by Pepsi.
Pepsi is owned by Yum Foods or whatever.
Yum Brands.
Oh, they own Pizza and Taco Bell and shit.
Taco Bell and the chicken place.
Taco Bell,
KFC.
Pizza Hut, and KFC.
So what about any of those
Taco
companies
Bell
make you think they're anti-gun?
It would make sense for Mountain Dew to not be anti-gun with all the extreme sports and stuff that they sponsor. I mean, I could picture them sponsoring some 3-gun guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, and that's someone else was saying with all the Call of Duty ads. Also, it's like that would be pretty.
Well, that's video games. That's different.
Yeah, but still. Anyway,
it's okay video games, but when you try to make it real, no.
Yeah.
We can't encourage violence. We can't. No.
All right, so
and for the people out there saying I'm becoming a juggalo, dude, that's not even. It's not even a thing. It's not even. I've been drinking Faygo for a long time, and I've always been down with the clowns.
Oh God!
I have all the Joker cards.
Don't bring that up. Do not.
Just saying.
All right. Does anybody else have questions out there on the YouTube or the Gun Channel side? Some serious questions, gun questions we can go over?
I have a serious question. This is for everybody in the audience. Everybody in the audience, how come you are not backing this Kickstarter right this second? And if you are, thank you a lot. Mr. Knives put the link in Gun Channels. I put it over on YouTube.
So that's a good point. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So G-Webs has on Kickstarter a Old West Guns playing card deck Kickstarter. So if you would like to get a deck of cards with Old West guns on them, go to Kickstarter.com/projects/gun websites and
gear websites.
No, it's gun websites.
I thought it was under gear websites.
No, I'm looking at the URL. It says /gun websites.
Oh, it does say
/old-west-guns-playing-card-deck for.
Okay, or just click the link.
Or click the link on Gun Channels or YouTube.
That's like when you got some old dude like on the news and he's like, go to https://www.facebook.com/ It's like, dude, just say your Facebook channel is blah, blah, blah. Like everyone knows how to get to Facebook. Like, I just always laugh.
Well, no, that's not true. There are some old people out there that are trying to be hip, but they don't understand the internet as well as everybody else does. They still exist. I'm sorry, but they do. So we can't say bad things about them. So we have to, spell it out for them.
Okay, it's just yeah. Just click the link. It's a lot easier, and go back it right now. I'm watching the page. I want to see it go up right now.
Yeah. So, if you like our videos, go ahead, give us some comments on the hit or miss videos. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you didn't like it. But realize that you will lose our love if you do. But hey, it's your decision, not ours. What else? Also, we have Patreon set up. I'm trying. I don't want to talk about this, but I'm going to. We got a Patreon set up. I've got one set up that I use for hit or miss, and just my YouTube channel in general. So if you'd like to help me out, so I can get better equipment, like a better microphone or better an actual webcam that I can use to show you what I look like, or even just the camera I can use to go and actually record actual video, because my cell phone doesn't cut it; it overheats.
Do we really want to see Night Strike?
I don't know if you do or not, but if you do, support us on Patreon. Give us $1 or $2 if you want. If you don't,
or
that's
100.
fine. I'm not hurt. I'm not going to be that ambitious.
There, if you give us $100 on Patreon, I'll do something. I don't know what.
Is that the cost of the Night Strike cam show? $100.
No, that's the cost you know what? That's the cost
of
Smeggy's love. If you want me,
I will say this. If I can get 1,000 subscribers, so I can get super chat, I will do a desktop.
Wow.
Out there, tell your friends.
Any super chat.
So I can get. If I get 1,000 subscribers, so I can do super chat, I will do a desktop.
Just for the capability of doing super chat, they don't even have to give you super chat money.
No.
Wow, that's a deal. That's $100 cheaper than Matt.
No. So if you have friends that like gun videos and you think they'd like hit or miss, go ahead and give them a link to the YouTube channel so that we can start getting that subscribership, so we can do desktop. All right. All right. Well, I think that's it. Unless anybody else has anything you want to cover tonight.
Oh man, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I'd like to go through the entire archives of ICP songs and sing them all.
There you go.
Absolutely not.
Do it.
Not on hit or
Do
miss. No, we will get copyrighted.
Oh, good point.
No dinging Night Strike's channel.
This Dark Carnival. Something. Dark Carnival.
No.
Ring a ding ding, ding ding ding, ring a ding ding. It's the Ringmaster, or something like that. I don't remember all of them. I need to hear the music.
I was never a fan of their music in the first place. Anyways,
which one's the third one? Because Great Malenko is the fourth one. Is the third one Jekyll Brothers, or is that the fourth one?
No idea.
Oh yeah, Riddlebox. Riddlebox is the third one, and then Great Malenko, then Jekyll Brothers. And the
all right,
race.
So Mr. Knives is saying, forget that. Go with Wu-Tang.
Oh, that's good. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great Malenko.
Wu-Tang in the house, baby.
And yesterday's pomade says the Great Smeglinko.
Oh,
There we go. There we go. We are officially at the end of hit or miss. So I want to thank everyone. Yes.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
Who's going chicken hunting? We's going chicken hunting.
Okay.
Who's going chicken hunting? We's going chicken hunting. Got
Who's Weez?
Down.
I don't know anybody named Weez. Do they have breathing problems or what?
Yeah,
they do.
Do they need oxygen? All right. Anyways, thank you all for listening. Okay, stop that. Thank you all for listening to Hit or Miss.
You can't stop me. Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
Thank you for listening to Hit or Miss. I'm Night Strike.
Will be at Harpo's this Friday. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, that's it. You were listening. This was Hit or Miss.